immigration.
Yes.
Because it's really interesting. In the book, you're writing about the wall, but this is from 2017?
Yeah.
2017, you write, but there is a bigger reason to oppose the border wall. A useless wall on the southern border would be nothing more than a symbol, a monument standing in opposition to not just everything I value, but to the fundamental values upon which this country was built.
Yep.
And then you write about, you quote Emma Lazarus, and then you go on to say that her poem speaks to our true character, a generous country that respects and embraces those who have made the difficult journey to our shores, often fleeing harm, that sees our quintessentially optimistic and can-do spirit in those who aspire to make the American dream their own. The budget debate was offering a false choice: fund the government or oppose the wall. I believe we could do both.
Right.
That was 2017.
And here we are.
It's 2 years later. This is exactly what we're talking about. If you were in that crazy meeting at the White House today, in the Situation Room, what would you have said?
I mean, look, first of all, let's be clear. You cannot hold the American people hostage over your vanity project. I mean, but that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. And, you know, let's be clear about that. Let's be clear about the fact that we've had enough of these powerful voices that are trying to sow hate and division among us. Like, I'm done with that. I'm really done with it. It's not because it is not only wrong from a moral perspective, it is unproductive if we actually want to be on a trajectory that is about achieving success and progress. It's counterproductive, and it is morally wrong. And did you watch his speech last night? I mean, it was blatant. It was blatant.
Blatant what?
Then he started talking about, well, African Americans and Latinos don't want this stuff happening. I mean, what was that supposed to be about? Tell me that. If not about inserting race in a way that was intended to create fear and division. That's not what a leader does, and that's certainly not what the leader of the United States is supposed to do.
And when it comes to the immigration debate, you go on to write, there are few things more cruel, more inhumane, more fundamentally evil than ripping a child from her parents' arms. We should all know this to be true on a gut level.
Yes.
You also write in the book about your conversations with then Secretary of Homeland Security John Kelly, who said to you when you called...
it was after the Muslim ban.
After the Muslim ban, why are you calling me at home?
Correct.
He said that to you?
Yes, he did.
Were your earrings off then, too?
You know, it's a whole situation what's going on around here. And, you know, it's... And it's actually, the process of writing the book was actually challenging in that way, because even to your point, there's been so much happening in the last 2 years. Right toward the end where I was like the deadline, I had to get the book to the publishers, and then the Kavanaugh hearing happened. Mm-hmm. I mean, but literally, and part of it, I hope everyone has the time to really read through and think about, there's so much that's been happening so rapidly, we cannot forget what has happened. We cannot forget what has happened and how critical each of these things have been, and how important and how significant they have been in terms of, in most of these cases, the harm they have caused. Mm-hmm. We cannot forget, and we cannot be seduced into reacting to, okay, now I'm gonna throw a thing over there so y'all can pay attention to that and that shiny thing instead of paying attention to this thing that just happened. We cannot forget what has been happening over the course of these last couple of years. And we must hold on to the fact and the knowledge in our hearts, in our guts, we are better than this. We are better than this.
Can I ask you another political question? And that is, the president's blaming Democrats for the shutdown. He is saying that it's the Pelosi shutdown, the Schumer shutdown, it's the Democrat shutdown, and that if only the Democrats would, reopen the government and give me my wall, everything will be fine. Do you think Democrats should waver from the position of no money for your wall, even if it means, and the president has already said he's not going to sign anything unless there's border wall funding in it. Democrats hold firm?
So if anyone listened to how you just described what's going on and inserted that we were talking about my godson and his train, any good parenting would tell you, you don't listen to those kinds of tantrums. And you don't reward bad behavior. Think about the press. So many things, including this. You talk about the children, the unaccompanied minors, and the children who have been ripped from their mothers and their fathers' arms. I am certain, had those crews of journalists not gone down and shared the stories with the American public about what has been happening and had been happening down there, if that had not happened, we wouldn't have seen the outrage among the public so that they had to end, or at least on paper end, that policy. So we're being tested. We're being tested.